Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Jocelyn, and I specialize in the field of urology. It's a pleasure to be with you today. We often discuss men's health from a purely medical perspective, focusing on surgeries, medications, and the latest technologies. But today, I want to step back and share a piece of profound yet deceptively simple wisdom that has been overlooked by countless men in my practice. The title of our session is intriguing. Urology hacks, the secret of an older woman that improves men's health. I can sense the skepticism. What can the wisdom of an older woman possibly teach modern men about the complex anatomy and potential issues of the male urinary tract? The truth is, some of the most powerful insights into long-term health come not from glossy medical journals, but from basic, time-tested habits, the kind of habits that ensure longevity and well-being across generations. In my years of practice, I've noticed a persistent trend. Many men ignore subtle symptoms and delay adopting basic preventative measures until a serious problem like kidney stones or a severe infection forces them into my office. They often neglect the very foundation of urinary health, which ironically is often the easiest thing to control. The secret I am referring to is not a costly supplement or a complicated exercise routine. It's a core principle of maintenance that this particular elderly woman, one of the healthiest patients I've ever encountered, practiced religiously. It's a simple daily routine that focuses on internal cleanliness and bladder discipline. This principle is something you can implement literally starting tomorrow, and it has the power to drastically reduce your risk of common urological issues, from bladder irritation to chronic discomfort. Get ready to learn the fundamental hack that every man needs to know to keep his system running cleanly and efficiently. Let's dive in. The very first and perhaps most critical key point, the cornerstone of this older woman's health regimen, revolves entirely around hydration. This might sound overly simple. We all know we need to drink water, but the wisdom here lies in the strategy and the consistency, not just the volume. She understood intuitively what modern urology confirms. The urinary tract is a self-cleaning system, but it needs a constant, mild flow of fluid to operate optimally. Neglecting this foundational requirement is the most common error men make, often substituting plain water with diuretics like coffee, tea, or sugary soft drinks, which actually accelerate dehydration and concentrate waste products. The secret is not to chug a massive bottle of water at the end of the day, hoping to catch up, but to maintain a gentle, steady drizzle of fluid throughout your waking hours. This strategy ensures that the kidneys are always working efficiently, constantly diluting the minerals and salts that can aggregate to form kidney stones. More importantly, for bladder health, continuous light hydration means that the bladder is gently rinsed multiple times a day. This steady turnover prevents bacteria, which naturally enter the urinary tract, from settling and multiplying, drastically lowering the risk of urinary tract infections, UTIs, that men, especially as they age, become susceptible to. The practice she advocated was carrying a water source at all times and taking small, frequent sips, rather than gulping down huge amounts. Gulping leads to quick elimination, stressing the bladder and often resulting in trips to the restroom without sufficient contact time for filtration. The slow, methodical approach allows for maximum absorption and efficient filtration by the kidneys. Furthermore, this deliberate hydration practice serves as an immediate diagnostic tool. If the urine is dark yellow or amber, it's a clear, instantaneous signal that the body is screaming for more water, a signal often missed or ignored in the hustle of daily life. The goal is consistently pale yellow urine, a simple visual metric that serves as a constant, non-negotiable health check. By prioritizing this consistent, mindful intake of water, men are engaging in active daily prevention against the most common and painful urological ailments. The second crucial element of this overlooked wisdom focuses intently on the discipline of elimination specifically, the critical importance of respecting your body's signals regarding urination and managing the associated pressures. Many men, driven by busy schedules, professional demands, or even just habit, develop a detrimental pattern of consistently delaying urination. They consciously hold it in, often for hours, prioritizing a meeting, a long drive, or an unfinished task over the immediate needs of their anatomy. This act, while seemingly harmless and convenient in the short term, places significant and unnecessary strain on the bladder. The bladder is a muscular organ, and when it is overstretched repeatedly, its muscle fibers can weaken and lose their elasticity over time. This chronic overdistension can lead to a condition known as bladder muscle fatigue, which impairs its ability to fully contract and empty itself efficiently when you finally do go to the bathroom. Incomplete emptying leaves a residue of urine behind, which is often termed post-void residual volume. This residual urine is not sterile water. It's a warm, stagnant pool rich in electrolytes, cellular debris, and potentially small numbers of bacteria. This environment creates a perfect incubator for the growth and proliferation of microorganisms, dramatically increasing the risk of urinary tract infections, UTIs, a condition often mistakenly associated primarily with women. Furthermore, concentrated, stagnant urine allows dissolved minerals to precipitate and aggregate, significantly contributing to the formation of kidney and bladder stones. The older woman's secret acknowledges that the bladder's health is intrinsically linked to its ability to cycle efficiently. Her instruction is simple. Treat the urge to void as a non-negotiable directive from your body. It is an immediate cleaning cycle that must be completed. This isn't just about emptying the bladder. It's also about how you empty it. The practice encourages a moment of mindfulness, ensuring that when you do void, you take the time to fully relax the pelvic floor muscles and allow the bladder to empty completely without rushing or straining. Rushing this process can also lead to residual urine. The discipline extends to preemptively using the restroom before long periods of potential restriction, such as before boarding an airplane, starting a 2-hour meeting, or beginning a long commute, rather than waiting until the bladder is painfully full. By consistently honoring the signal and emptying the bladder fully, men maintain the muscle tone, flush out accumulating toxins and bacteria, and prevent the unhealthy stagnation of urine, thereby avoiding a host of long-term urological complications linked to poor bladder management. This basic, respectful response to the body's signals is a profound preventive measure, rooted in common sense but powerfully effective, one of the most practical and often ignored lessons in long-term urological health, a cornerstone of the wisdom shared by those who live well into their later years, revolves entirely around what you put into your body. We must recognize that the bladder, though a muscular organ designed for storage, has a highly sensitive lining, much like the delicate lining of your stomach. And when that lining is repeatedly assaulted by certain chemicals, it becomes inflamed, overactive, and generally unhappy. This leads directly to two of the most common complaints I hear in the office: frequency and urgency. The most notorious culprits in this systemic irritation are, predictably, caffeine, alcohol, and foods that are either highly acidic or intensely spiced. Caffeine, found in high concentrations in coffee and many. Soft drinks acts as a dual threat. It is a potent diuretic